Dorks. It is the Turtle Dork back with a new movie review for you today. So this is the new film Bohemian Rhapsody. This is the biopic of the musical group Queen and Freddie Mercury. This movie has been in development for a while. I remember hearing about the Freddie Mercury movie when Sacha Baron Cohen was attached to it years ago. Of course, there was some creative differences, and he left the project, and Rami Malek from oh goodness, that show that people I can't think of the name of the show right now. Anyway, but Rami Malek is playing Freddie Mercury, and let's get into some of the good stuff that I actually kind of liked about this movie. Which we can start with Rami Malek. I thought his performance as Freddie Mercury was pretty great. I really kind of. I'll say that for as far as the second half. I think all of the musical performances, all the stage performances are really good. Watching the movie in the beginning, it took a little while for me to kind of really buy into and really kind of connect with a lot of the performances that were going on, including Rami Malek. But I think a lot of the performances, including everybody else, the actors, Brian May, played by Gwilym Lee, and Ben Hardy, who played Roger Taylor, all the members of Queen. In the beginning, it just felt like they were kind of play acting, almost like putting on impersonations. But I think as the movie kind of settled in and we got into like the second and third act, the performance for me got a little bit better, especially with Rami Malek and the teeth. It felt like he was having a tough time with his dialogue. But as the movie kind of moved along and we got into some of those quieter moments with Lucy Boynton, who plays Mary, who he calls the love of his life, I think some of those quieter moments with her and a lot of the stage performances and the musical performances really are, especially when it comes to Rami Malek's performance, are really what shines in this movie. Unfortunately for me, man, this movie, it just feels so generic, so paint by numbers. There's nothing new that's kind of brought to this story that I don't think we can learn by, just Googling Wikipedia. Now, I think a lot of that may be due to the fact that the remaining living members of Queen are also, I think, the producers on the film as well. And as we know with a lot of biopics, whenever you have people from the group who are also part of the production of the film, that the actual story and the accuracy of those stories can be a little bit skewed, a little bit more towards, how they saw it. And it kind of makes them look good in a particular, it makes them look a certain way in that light. And it's hard for me to really kind of criticize at that point. Watching the movie, it kind of feels that way, but it's kind of hard to be critical of that because I didn't really grow up with Queen, so I don't know a lot of their backstory. But you can definitely tell, knowing that they are part of this production and the way the movie kind of plays out, because those characters, you never really see them in a bad light. And again, I think, especially as this movie kind of moves along, it focuses more on Freddie Mercury and his story as far as like, the conflictions of him being gay, if you want to call it that. Again, I don't know how all that stuff kind of played out, as far as like if he even had those type of conflictions with his own sexuality or not. But the way the movie just kind of portrays it, it just feels, it's funny, it's a phrase that my fellow dork, mouth dork, kind of uses a lot. It feels very movie, and I kind of felt that watching this movie, that it doesn't really, the movie, it never seems to really kind of get underneath the surface. Everything feels very surface level, even with the way they portray his own sexuality. Like, we never really get deep into it to really kind of, explore that a little bit deeper. With that being said, I still think the ending of this movie, as it kind of leads to the Live Aid performance in 1985 in Africa, that performance, I thought leading up to that, it definitely packed an emotional punch for me. I loved all the stage performances, and that ending I thought really wowed me. Even though there are some notable CG shots in there that don't look very good, but I can kind of forgive that because it just, I thought that ending really worked. But overall, the movie itself, if you took those musical performances out of it, it would just be your typical biopic that really is forgettable at best. So yeah, those are my initial thoughts for Bohemian Rhapsody. Go ahead and let me know what you thought of the film in the comments below. Go ahead, rate, like, subscribe, and share, and go ahead and check out my other dorks at MouthDork, at TheDiscoDork, at WB Das, and at Sidewalk Siren. And as for me, I am the Turtle Dork, and with that, I'm out.